Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and today we're taking a look at Move or Die. Now, this is a cute little party game that appeared in my inbox one day, and I thought, I don't always cover early access games on the channel, and with pretty good reason, because stuff does change fairly frequently with a lot of early access games, so when I do a video it may not be valid again after some time, or even after it releases. But this is a game that seems to have its core pretty well set. In fact, it has been early access for a while now, and it's going to be released on the 21st, so if you are watching this after the 21st, the game is out and you can go and get it already. So what is this? This is a 4-player, I wouldn't say it's cooperative in any way, it's a competitive multiplayer party game, and it features these very cute little characters that you see on the right there. This game does have modding options available, so there is a mod manager here. There is an editor, which you can use to create mods very quickly and even make your own levels and all that sort of stuff. One thing that it does do quite interestingly, if I can show you this. No, that's the wrong one. Let me see where I can show this. The options menu is fairly sparse, to be honest. There isn't much to show here. Interestingly, it does have a lot of options that I wouldn't have expected in a game of this type, because it is a 2D sort of game. Doesn't really need these many options, but you know, it's good that it's here, and good on them for including it. But there's a couple of options here as well. You can even display FPS and ping. I normally have this turned off, but if you want it there, that option is there too. Alright, so I'm playing this with a controller, as you can tell, with the B there in the bottom for quit to desktop. If I move the mouse, it switches to mouse control, so it's fully mouse control menu, and if I just flick the controller, it switches back. Very useful. There are plenty of games that I've played in the past that don't have that sort of set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, let's just go to play locally. I wonder if I can actually show. I'm just currently looking for the profile options to actually show this off. Doesn't appear to be a way that I can show it. Unless I click on my name. No? Okay. Never mind. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off into a local match and play against the AI. The AI is actually pretty good. This game is originally designed for local co-op or local play, so it's sort of a couch party game, as it says right there, or you can play over LAN, but online is the new thing, and in this current build the online is still being worked on, so there are a couple of issues which I'll go on to later on when I show an online match. So I'll just go into a 3-minute one here. I'm going to customize my character. So these characters, the blue, the Jimmy, and the Brains, are characters that you start off with. And I've also unlocked Rami, which is a custom skin. Doesn't actually do anything, honestly. Doesn't do anything at all. Now, the bots do use a random skin, and unfortunately it's a random skin that you own, so whatever you have available, that is what it's going to use. So, once the timer ticks down, we'll see how this is actually played. So these are all the sort of modes that we have available. I've picked a few at random and will show you what they do. Alright, so this is Ghost Scare. This is one of the game modes. All characters are invisible and you have to look for the little dust poofs, and then you hit a button to scare the others. And of course, it's a bit of a guessing game. If you miss, then you get stunned temporarily, and then you're sort of open for the kill. The next one is Bomb Tag. So this is one where the bomb is assigned to one of us randomly, and if you tag somebody, it passes to them. It's kind of a game of hot potato, and then it will eventually explode, and then pass on to someone else. Oh, shoot. Right, so I lost that one. Now, of course, there is a point system based on who dies first to who dies last, or, you know, whoever survives. So, of course, the winner is allotted the most points. Right, so cleanup crew is where we remove as much paint as you can from the background. So, here we go. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the main mechanic of this game, if I stop moving, you can see my health starts ticking down. And that's well, what the name of the game is. It's move or die. So if you don't move, you die. It's as simple as that. So in every mode, that's the one thing that stays constant. You have to keep moving. Now, the game modes are selected by this roulette system, and game modes are dependent on what you actually have in your inventory. Which is an interesting way of doing things. Oh, I died already. I'm actually really terrible at speedrun. So, as you progress throughout the game, there is a progression system. And every time you level up, you are given a random skin or game mode. And all these are items that are added to your Steam inventory. So, there's another game mode that I don't know. Right, so we have to stab them in the back. Oh. Oh, I guess if we knock the chainsaws off, then I kill you. Anyway, so, these get stored in your inventory, so different players that you play with may have different items unlocked, so the more people you choose to play with, the more game modes and skins you might potentially see. No, I'm so screwed now. And the thing about it being in your Steam inventory as opposed to just being stored in-game means that all these items are actually tradable and marketable. You can actually put them up for sale, or you can buy them off the market. So if you're the sort of person who wants a bit of variety but can't be bothered playing so much just to get it, then you can simply just buy it off the market. The other option being you can trade with friends to get different game modes if you want to just have them, because of course you can still have them if you just play with them. Every player has the option of selecting whatever they have in their inventory, so the reason I have some game modes in here that I don't normally have is because I just don't have a lot of them. And what the game has very kindly done is donated some for me to use just for this particular session. Now, you will notice some game modes do repeat, and this is something that I do have a bit of a problem with in this game. Because the game modes themselves are selected by roulette, so it really is completely random. So, there are cases where if you don't have a lot of game modes selected, or a lot of different types of game modes selected, for example, if somebody chooses the same game mode over and over again, the chances of you just playing the same mode repeatedly, or having the same mode come up in the same round, is quite frequent. And that's something that kind of detracts from the overall variety of the game. So what I would like to have seen is that as game modes get selected, they are eliminated from the queue. This will allow you to have a better chance of picking some game modes that maybe only one person has, for example. So that would have been a nice option. Like, we've seen bomb tag and speedrun twice now. So that is something that could have been changed. I'm actually doing better this time around. And I've died. Kind of jinxed myself with that. The bots don't really seem to know what to do with this particular one. And here we go, we've got Ghost Scare again. Now, all of the different game modes and skins have a rarity attached to them, which is similar to Steam's card system. So in the same way that you have the standard cards, you've got the foil cards and so on, they have a certain rarity attached to them here as well. And I don't know for certain if these actually affect the actual game mode being played. For example, is an uncommon chainsaw backstab the same as a rare chainsaw backstab? I mean, that's a good question. Is it actually the same or not? Is it based on a different map? That would be interesting to see, because we do have chainsaw backstab in there twice, but we've so far selected the rare one, or the golden one, multiple times. So I don't know entirely if that's the way it's played. Of course, it does work that way with skins too. The skins have a rarity attached to them. And the fact that you can trade them or sell them is very, very interesting indeed, because after all, it seems like a very good way of getting around having DLC or anything by just simply having the content there, and then people are able to purchase it for themselves from other players. And of course that encourages playing with other players to see what's really there. Because of course it isn't possible to see all of the skins and game modes in the game until you've unlocked them. It does tell you what you're missing, but it doesn't tell you what they are exactly. It just tells you how many. So it's a little bit of mystery there. So we've lost to a bot, and you do get more XP for playing with other players. So what I'm going to do is going to jump over to online and play with a couple of people that I already know. Right, so here we are in a match with Rockwar and Cutest, and these are two other YouTubers who I'll link down below in the description. Very good YouTubers to go and check out. And they kindly joined me for a game or two of Move or Die, and they also had some thoughts of their own. So we played a couple of different game modes here, and you'll see that we're all of varying skill levels. But one thing that seems to be happening with the online mode at this point in time that we played, of course, as I said, it's a work in progress, they are working on it, is that at this point in time, Cutest can't actually see anything. And I'm going to include some footage here of what it actually looked like for him, because when we got him to host the game, it's what it looked like for me as well. So what you're seeing here is a lot of movement on the screen, or rather lack of movement in a way as well. You can see some dust poofs and movement around, but the characters themselves aren't actually moving, which makes it nearly impossible to play. Now this could be related to the fact that the online seems to use a form of peer-to-peer matchmaking. So there are no dedicated servers, so when connecting to other players, in fact the player that's hosting the game, it seems to be more of a dependent on the actual host. So if the host has good internet, chances are it'll be a fairly well-balanced match, but if the host doesn't, then you could argue that he has a pretty big host advantage, in fact. So that's one really crucial thing that needs to be sorted out, because for a party game to work, either you need friends who are going to be around all the time to play it locally, or you're going to need good connectivity, and at the moment connectivity seems to be the problem. Overall, there are a lot of things I like about this game. It's got a very, very good selection of game modes, and the fact that you unlock more of them means that you could swap out game modes when you get bored of them. You could trade them with other players so that, you know, they have one that you want to play, and you have one they don't want to play. You can swap it out so that you don't have that in your rotation anymore, of course, unless somebody else in your party selects it. The other thing as well is that the local co-op in this game, it's kind of interesting in that you don't all need controllers. You can actually play on a keyboard. Of course, you probably need very long arms, or friends with long arms, or very skinny friends, because trying to fit people side by side to play on the same keyboard can get tricky, and I'm not sure if I'd want to risk my keyboard doing that, but it does give you that option. And there's very limited controls, honestly. It's just WASD or whatever equivalent it gives you for your particular player position. And there isn't much in the way of controls. It's just basic platforming, jump, move right or left, and that's it. So as far as the actual gameplay goes, it really just comes down to the variation in game modes that will make this work or not work, assuming the online stuff gets sorted out. But is it any good? I mean, I've been playing this on my own for a little while, and I've actually enjoyed it, whether playing with randoms online or whether playing with friends. I find it actually quite fun. The aesthetic is nice, the cartoony characters, and you can see Rockwar's unlocked his little Bill the Bullet type of character there. He's a bit of a smug bastard, I don't really like him all that much. But when you put him up against, alongside Rami, you can see this sort of variation there. It's definitely the same sort of art style, but it's a very different type of character, and just that skin alone really kind of adds some variety to it, other than just the standard generic blobby, colourful characters. Although, admittedly, it's probably one of the most colourful games I've played recently. It's an aesthetic that works, I think, and once the online issues are sorted out, this could be a very viable party game to play on stream if you're a streamer, or just play with friends, because I would genuinely think that this would be quite fun. The developers themselves say it's a friendship ruiner, and I don't know necessarily if it does that. There aren't too many opportunities in the game modes I've seen to really dick your friends over or really screw them over, but there probably is room for that if you have very competitive friends. So definitely one to check out. Now, I don't have a price available for this game, unfortunately, yet, so do keep an eye out on the Steam page once it actually launches. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Panzer taking a look at Move or Die. It's now available on Steam, if it is the 21st when you are watching this. And, get it if you've got some friends to play with. It's okay online with randoms, but I can see it being a lot more fun playing with friends. So, one way or another, this could be one to check out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.